Warm greetings and welcome to today's African Leadership Group, the Nigerian Leadership Series. The Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord make his face to shine upon you. We're going to be looking at the power of sports for unity and development. The power of sports for unity and development. And I think if we look at Nigeria from a football team's perspective, or from a sporting team's perspective, we might begin to get some traction as to how to really put ourselves together. Our guest today is the national chairman of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, the national chairman of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club. His love for sports and his patriotic drive to serve Nigeria led him to join this supporters club. He's a seasoned alternative dispute resolution facilitator, a certified sports marketer, sports and society facilitator, and a family therapist. Is the chief executive officer of Great Dynamic Talents Limited, Consolidated Flows Travels and Tours Limited, Sam Deb Global Concept Limited, and Sam Deb Football Academy. He's the ambassador of Santos Football Club to Brazil and the West African head representative of Africano Football Club Brazil. His name is Ambassador Samuel Oyadema Ikpea, and I'm sure he's from my part of the country from the way his name sounds. There's a huge profile here that I'm not going to bother to go through, and all sorts of awards and recognitions. Suffice it to say that he's a patriotic Nigerian and very interested in putting Nigeria together. Reverend Ambassador Samuel Ikpea, you're welcome. Please switch on your your camera and your mic. You need to unmute yourself. Reverend Ikpea, are you there? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, where is the video clip there?
You're welcome.
Okay.
God bless you. And God strengthen you. Thank you very much for coming to be part of the program. Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, sir, and everyone.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
How's Nigeria treating you?
Well, we're all in it, and I think I will use the word is fairly treated all fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I like the expression "we're all in it."
Yeah, so we're all in it too.
But it should be better in Jesus' name.
By the special grace of God, it can't remain like this forever.
No, and God has been gracious to us.
Oh yes.
So let me start by asking you how you got involved in the Nigerian Football Supporters Club. What really drove you in that direction? And what do you have to say to people? And what has been the value or the benefit of being a member of the Supporters Club?
Well, I want to say that during my school days, back then in Saple, I was in the school sports, and precisely I was the captain of our primary and secondary school football team then. But during our days, parents did not allow us to, participate in football, especially. One, for the fears that the legs can be broken, you can get injured, and two, they want us to face our education. So I was not given the chance to pursue my football career. And after my school, I now happened to be living with my uncle, who then was a journalist with Daily Times, the sport journalist in Daily Times. We're living together, and at every time at home, all they discuss, including Paul Bassi, what they discuss then is all about football, football, football. And later, the likes of Monday Egwagon, which is the elder brother of Austin Egwagon, came to join us, and we're all, living together. But, at that particular time, I felt I could no longer, go in for football, having left that area for some years. Then, in one of their interview with Dr. Rafiu Oladipo, who was then the national chairman of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, I got to know about the supporters club, and I picked interest in it. Okay, if I cannot play, I can also support. So that was exactly what led me to be part of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club. And 10 years after I have traveled with them far and wide, I was opportune to be elected as the second assistant secretary. That was in 2000. And due to my performance then, in the 4 years later, I was elected as the national secretary. And because I overperformed, let me use the word, I was elected another 4 years after as the Secretary General worldwide. And I held on to that position for the period of, I think, 12 years before I became the national chairman. So I think that is how I got into Supporters Club. And so far, so good. From the time I joined up to now, I've been able to make a huge impact, affect life positively, and be able to turn the club around to what we have today. Hello, sir.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. That's very good. I'm very happy and excited. How does one become a member of the Football Supporters Club? Is there a process, a procedure, and do you all go out of your way to try and see if you can get more people involved? How do you guys do it?
Yeah, to be a member of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, first you must be in Nigeria. You must be above 20 years of age. You also must have the means of livelihood, because it's an NGO. We use our time and our money, to run the club. So you must have a means of livelihood. Then you pick up a form. As of today, the form is 5,000 naira. The membership fee is 50,000 naira. That is 55,000 naira. When you pick up this form, you fill it. You must have 2 members of the club that have spent 5 years and above to shorty you. Then you also come for an interview where they will ask you questions all about sports, just to show that, or to see that you have an interest in sport, and you should be able to score above, average. Then you will be taken in as members, but will be placed on probation for 6 months. During that period, the club have to study you, your behavior, because we have a slogan in the club that says, You have a right to get angry, but you don't have a right to lose your head. Because if you lose your head, you can't have it anymore. So at any time you see us at the stadium or various events, no matter how badly treated, we don't react. So we must find out that the prospective member, is able to tolerate, is able to bear. And if within that 6 months you are found capable of being a member, then we will do an induction to take you in as a member. During that induction, you can come with your friends, you can come with your family, you can come with, whoever you want to come with. That is when you become a full-fledged member of the club. If within that period of probation you are found wanting, the club will expel you without any recourse to disciplinary action. So that is how you can be a member.
Fantastic. So what's been your experience being, first of all, a member? I don't know when you became chairman. What's the process of becoming chairman of the Football Supporters Club?
Well, we have a constitution. We don't have an appointment in the Nigeria Football Supporters Club leadership. You must go through an election. And for me, I think I came on board in the year 2016 as the national chairman. We conducted election, and we have electoral committee that will be put in place. They come out with their guidelines. Then once you are able to pass the guidelines, you will be cleared. Then you go on the stage. If you are elected, you come on board, and if not, then you wait for another 4 years where you can try again.
So is the tenure 4 years renewable or 4 years solid and finished?
No, 4 years renewable.
For how long? Or you can just keep for 2 terms. So a maximum.
Yeah, that is 8 years. 8 years.
Okay. So what has been the impact of the Football Supporters Club, first of all, to football in Nigeria, and then secondly to Nigeria as a whole? And one of the things I like that you said was this code of good conduct that you all have, and so on and so forth. Has anybody breached that code before, and have you been able to maintain it?
Yes, when you talk of a group like this, you have people with various characters. And some permit me to use the word. Some behave like goats, some behave like dogs, and that is why we have the code to contain some of those actions. So I think so far so good. If I could recall, I don't think that we have actually have any one that have fall a victim or that have been disciplined, because once we are in the meeting in the group, the chief whip does not take it lightly. Like once you are a member of the club, first we have our mode of dressing. You don't put your cap backward. Because we believe forward ever and backward never. You must be used to the slogan. When we say UP, you said up. We also use it to identify our members. Most especially when you are coming on the road, you see somebody putting on your uniform, and you just say UP. If he did not respond, then you know that he's not a member of the club. So far, as the club, I know that we have made put the national interest, the national unity is our main interest. Our main interest in the club, it's a non-religion. We don't it's non-religion We don't tolerate, how do I put it? Religion, this thing in the club. Hello?
I'm
Can you hear
listening
me?
to you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes. So whether you are Hausa, you are Igbo, or whatever tribe you are, the moment you come as a member of Nigeria Football Supporters Club, the national unity and interest is number one. And we also have a slogan that says in the club, whether you are a medical doctor, you are a pilot, well, we have them. We have pilots, we have medical doctors, we have engineers and all. We say the club is a leveler. So once you come into this club, you drop your personality down and you level with everybody, whether mechanic, carpenter, you have to level yourself with each other. When we travel at you as a doctor, you can be asked to accommodate, a mechanic. So you have to level with each other. So we don't tolerate religion sentiment as far as this club is concerned.
I've lost your voice.
You've lost?
Have you finished speaking? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm true.
Okay. You don't tolerate religions. You don't tolerate class. You don't
We don't
tolerate.
tolerate it. Yes.
What about tribe?
Tribe is the same thing.
Okay. How have you all been able to maintain that?
Well, we have tried. So far, so good. During all the time I've been in the club, I think we have lived in unity. We have lived as one family. When we travel outside, we eat together, we drink together. When it is time, we have crucial matches. Like when we travel out for a month tournament, one thing we do, the pastors, the Christians, we have their, what do they call it? Their church service. Like on Sunday, they have their church service. The pastors, the reverend there will call for service, you do. The Muslims will join. They will participate. Then when we have the imams or the afars, when it is time for the Muslim, like on Friday, everybody go together, we join. We all, we do things collectively. No discrimination. When we want to pray also in the stadium, we also ask the Muslim to pray and the Christian to also pray before we start the match. So these are some of the ways we have been able to, handle it.
Well, do you have some idol worshippers or traditional religious people around you, and how do you cope with them?
We have them, sir. We have them as members, and they are also giving their grants to perform their own. Like I not have to be honest to you, not everybody knows this. When we have a crucial match, if the idol worshippers come to say this is what they have been able to see as revelation, we respect it. But all we do, we handle it with prayer. If the Alpha come that he got this revelation, this is what he thinks that we should do, we respect him. But one thing that is important, that everything we do in that place end up in prayer.
Okay, so what's your thinking concerning football administration in Nigeria, the development of the sports, and the team management itself? What are the ideas and suggestions that you have? And are you satisfied with the way the government and Nigerians have handled football administration and so on and so forth? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I want to say here that I've not been satisfied with the way things has been going on, especially in especially whether in football or in sports in Nigeria, because we don't have a system that is working, and any place organization where the system does not work, it gives room for all kinds of things, and it doesn't give room for development. So in Nigeria, we don't have that system that is working. We don't have a system of accountability. We don't have a system that allow the right peg to be in the right hole. We politicize things. Is my friend, is my brother. We want him to be there, whether he has knowledge of it, he have an experience or not, because it's in the carcass of of some other powerful people. You put them there. At the end of it, they come in there messing lot of things. So that is why I said I am not really certified until we have a system like abroad or Europe, a system that work, a system that checks corruption, a system that hold officers accountable to their responsibility. Then we can now begin to look for how Nigerians can get satisfaction from the sports and the administrators. Is it still there?
Yes, give us
Hello?
a minute. Yeah, we can hear you. I just want to see if Pastor's network went off. Okay, he's back on. He's getting back in. Apologies for that.
Okay.
He's back in now.
Okay.
You're muted, sir.
Sorry, connection. You were saying, sir, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Had you finished, or where did you leave off?
I'm with you. Yes, I'm finished with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So very accommodating and all that. I was asking you what the impact of government has been, or how has government handled football, and so on and so forth, what the level of football is, and so on and so forth. And sometimes our Eagles or Eaglets or whatever, they disappointed us a little bit. What do you have to say about that?
I think I just said something about that, about the system. Anna, that we don't have a working system. Two, the system that will hold an officer accountable for the duties or assignments given to him or her. We don't have that. The government impact here, I think they are just concerned in releasing funds. Once they release funds, there is no system that hold anyone accountable for how that fund is being spent or is being used. When you also talk about the team, the selection is also based on who no man, not because you are qualified. It's also based on somebody that can pay his or her way through, or somebody that has somebody up there in the government or in the sports cycle as a godfather that will say, put this person there, not minding whether it's is qualified or not, even at the expense of the best that you have in this country. Recently, we just the France Olympic, we're talking about 12 billion, and the issue was raised, noise here and there, and what happened today? It has been dropped. It has been dropped. Nobody's saying anything about that. Nobody is talking about how the money was spent, whether it was rightly handled or roughly handled. Nobody's saying anything. So that issue has been put under the carpet. It has gone. So this and various other things are the things that is affecting the growth of our football or our sport in Nigeria. Until that we have a system that will check all of this, well, I think we'll still be struggling.
Okay, so what can we do as a nation to have a good and proper system
What can we?
that can check all this? What can we do as a nation that can give us a good and proper system that can check all these deviants in our sports management? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
I think it's like we are still, going around. Yes, yes. I think it's like we are still going around. We are still going around, around the same question. I just mentioned something about the system. What if we want things to work? We must put the system that will work in place. If we don't have that system, like I said, we will still be rigmaroling and struggling, to get out of it. The government must come out with a policy that will hold office holder accountable. We must. Also, we must go back to, in our, I would say in our days, where we, even if we have that, if we have that in place, if the system is not working, if you go back to the days of school sports, grassroots, where you have those ones there, after they have spent all their years back and without a godfather to accept them on top there, we will still be rigmaroling. We will still have the same issue. So the government have to come out with a system that will hold each officer accountable, that will make them give account, of whatever responsibility that has been given to them. It is a people that makes the system work, the right people. So not until you get the right people to make that system work, we will still be having the same issues, sir.
Okay, so our theme, our title today is The Power of Sports for Unity and Development. What do you think we can do in Nigeria? First of all, from your own perspective, what are the challenges with Nigeria? What are the problems and issues? And how can sports in any way help us to enhance our development trajectory in Nigeria?
Well, I think the theme or the topic today is the power of sports for unity and development, right? Okay.
Yes.
So if we want to look at it, the topic critically, there are 4 basic concepts that comes up in the topic. Number 1, power, sports, unity, and development. So you must permit me at this junction to define them one after the other. Then we now come to treat the topic proper. When you talk about power, power can be defined as the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior or the course of events. That is power. Looking at this definition, we will also be exploring the effect which power has in sport and how it has been able to positively influence human beings and various governments towards accepting what sport offers. The power of sport is visible in FIFA's consistent policy of non-governmental interference in football. Despite all the powers which the government of a country has, football sport is a unique one that calls to allow only the football administrators to manage it. Governments of countries that interfere with football have attracted sanction on the country, and at times they are banned. Another recent happening that we have seen in the power that sport has over government is the manner in which a country like Saudi Arabia has relaxed some of its laws to enable them to accommodate the development of football in their country. Laws that affect how a woman dresses have been reviewed to allow renowned footballers like Cristiano Ronaldo and few other footballers who have moved to Saudi Arabia to settle down comfortably. This shows that the power of sport is enormous and can influence government policy towards achieving a goal set by sport. For any country to have a hosting right, the part of the rules will also state that you must relax some of your laws in that country, because you are having people that are coming from different backgrounds, different culture, different rules. Even to the embassies, they are being told to relax their requirements. And sometimes for you to understand the power, an embassy can close every other regular scheduled appointment for a month or a period that they want to accommodate people or fans going for sports. So that is on power. Then what is sports itself? The origin of the sport itself seems to be ugly. Going by the fact, early sporting activities that date back to the ancient Greek were marred with a lot of sad memories. There were reported cases of human being thrown into open and secure spots where lions were, and a large number of persons sat and watched in amusement as these humans struggled with the lions before they were eventually killed and eaten by the wild beast. But over time, sport has been made to become pleasant and modernized to avoid the loss of lives. Hence, according to the definition of the International Olympic Committee, sport is a human activity involving physical exertion, physical effort, and skill, in which individual or team compete against each other, governed by a set of rules or custom. Individual, like in 1996, we have the first Black African woman, Chioma Ajunwa, who was a gold medalist in the long jump. It was an individual sport. You also have the Dream Team, which is the football. Those ones, I think they are also a team that also won gold during the Olympic. From the above definition, it is obvious that individuals or teams necessarily need to compete against each other, and it has to be guided by the laid down rules. There must be a laid down rules when you're talking about sports. Like in the football, we all know that you have to play for 90 minutes. If there is no winner, in some cases, you have extra time that will be allowed. Because if there is no rules, like what they say in the Bible, where there is no rules, there is no law, there is no sin. So if you don't have rules that guide them, Like the football, you can play on and on for a whole day. Nobody will want to stop until, even if you are losing or you are winning. So you have to play by the rules. So we have the rules that, the laid down rules. Sport can also be classified from two different angles. The first is the makeup of the contestant, while the second is the purpose for which the sport is taking place. The makeup of the contestants and the purpose for which. Is it for pleasure? Is it for championship, to win something? So we have to also understand that. For the makeup of the sport, we have team sports, individual sports, combat sports, winter sports, and extreme sports. While for the sport, we have professional sport, amateur sports. When you talk about the amateur, you're just for people that are just doing it for pleasure, not for this thing. The professional, they want to make ends out of it. You have for recreation, you have recreational sports and adaptive sports. Overall, sports plays a significant role in promoting physical activities, social interaction, and community engagement. Like several times when you talk about that social interaction, when you, for example, you come from Aba, you come from Edo, for example, or from other place to come and watch a particular game, and by your ticket number, you are bid to sit together, you are all there, and you are supporting the same cause, watching the same game. There will be an open interaction where you begin to interact, you discuss, you meet them for the very first time. Like in the supporters club here, several times when we traveled, it has opened doors for many of our members, because you go out there, hey, you are from Nigeria, up Nigeria, oh, I love Yekini, I love this. So it brings discussion, we have time to discuss, this interaction goes together. Or when you go out with other teams, there is a dining hall for lunch, for dining, for lunch, or for breakfast. By the time you all meet together, it gives everyone the opportunity for interaction. You meet people, you discuss, you know yourself more better, exchange numbers. It's also for the community. Like if you see, I think some estates, they have what they call their summer sports. They have also what like December is coming now. Some estates, they are also community. They are planning different kinds of sports that the elders, the young, the children, they will all participate and get to know themselves in the estate. Why it's also providing entertainment. It's also providing entertainment sport, because it is play where you go. Sometimes you when you are watching football, for example, or some kind of sport, you forget your sorrow, you forget your whatever you are passing through. At that time, you are excited, you are supporting your team is winning, you dance, it's a form of entertainment and inspiration for millions of people around the world. So let us now look at the second concept in the topic and try to give its own definition. What is unity? Unity refers to the state of being united, joined, or combined into a single entity, group, or whole. It involves a sense of harmony, cohesion, and togetherness among individuals, groups, or communities. Unity can manifest in various forms, including social unity, national unity, which the Supporters Club always stands for, community unity, spiritual unity, and emotional unity. While the benefit of unity includes strength, resilience, increased cooperation, improved communication, enhanced creativity, and greater sense of belonging. In essence, unity is about embracing diversity, promoting inclusivity, and fostering a sense of shared humanity. Now that we have looked at sports and unity as concepts that will make us understand the topic, let us now look at the third concept, which is development, and try to define it as well. What is development? Development refers to the process of growth, progress, and improvement in various aspects of life. And development can take place in areas of economic, social development, woman development, environmental development, and infrastructure development. It involves growth, progress, improvement, and transformation, and it is driven by various factors such as investment, innovation, policy, governance, education, skills, partnership, and collaboration. Having looked at the four concepts, and define them, let us now discuss the topic as it relates with my presentation today. Sport is a global tool in uniting the world, irrespective of race, religion, culture, and social economic background. The power which it carries in uniting can be felt within a nation, state, country, or across geographical boundaries. Irrespective of who emerges as winner in a sporting competition, organizers of global, national, and continental events have always preached the spirit of sportsmanship, which is the main cruise of sporting events, and thereby creating room for unity. So if you want to look at this aspect of it, like I think recently we just finished the AFCON Cup in Ivory Coast. Nigeria came second. The president and the people of that country will have to celebrate you. They will have to, the president of that country, assuming Nigeria won the cup, the president and the organizers will have no choice but to celebrate with Nigeria. They have to celebrate with the team, but that is the spirit of sportsmanship, and that is what sportsmanship is all about. In a country with multiple ethnic groups such as Nigeria, we have seen several situations where success of Nigeria national team has helped promote national pride in international and continental sporting events. During the Atlanta 1996 Olympic, when the Dream Team defeated Argentina in the final, Africa's first Olympic gold in men's football event, the celebration that was witnessed was wide, such that everyone forgot where they come from. Whether you are an Hausa man, you are an Igbo man, you are a Yoruba man, or whatever religion or whatever, the celebration was massive. Everybody were speaking in one voice, in unity, as a nation. Again in 2013, when the Super Eagles of Nigeria reached the final of AFCON, there was a reported cases of an area in Jos called Doom, where there was tension and unrest on the Friday before the final was played against Burkina Faso in South Africa. One thing that happened on Sunday evening when the Nigeria national team defeated Burkina Faso was that the tension and unrest dissipated. There was merrymaking in Do, and Nigeria as a whole were all jubilating. Nobody is asking who is on the Uber. Nobody is asking who is this or who is that. Nobody wants to know where he comes from. Nobody wants to know about his religion. This shows that national pride can be restored through sport, and it is a veritable tool for national unity. Sport can also help people from different backgrounds and cultures and come together. They are come together to celebrate shared values and practice tolerance. If we look at most of the football clubs in the world today, both in Europe, Asia, Africa, and others, there are teams that comprises of players from different continents, and yet they all work together as a team to achieve a goal, irrespective of where they are, where they are from, and when they come out victoriously. Everybody, whether as a Muslim, they forget their differences. Wherever they come from, they forget their differences, and they all come together to celebrate that that victory. So the difference in their background doesn't matter. Hence, sport plays a significant role in building gaps among these people and making them share values. One other important role that sport has achieved in helping to foster development in the area of strengthening is the area of strengthening community identity. When I say community identity, it means that some certain areas, community or state, can be good in a particular sport, and they are known for that sport. This makes an area or a country unique and known for the sport and always seen as a reference point. Take, for example, China is today known for table tennis. United States is known for basketball. Brazil, Nigeria is known as a nation for football. And this makes them unique. In Nigeria, the Ijaw areas are notable for wrestling, and this has made them become an identity for Nigeria when it comes for that sport. One other area which sport comes in to foster development in the provision of a platform for trade and investment opportunities during global, continental, and national sporting events. Brands which intend to reach out to a large number of people use this platform as an opportunity to do so. We have seen such as Coca-Cola, Heineken, Visa Card, Budweiser, MTN, Globalcom, and many commercial banks involving themselves in sporting events. Many commercial banks that involve themselves in sporting events. In Nigeria today, the Access Bank Marathon Race, which is an annual event, has created an opportunity for a lot of investment for corporate organizations who now partner with the organizer for investment opportunities. So this creates a lot of opportunities for investment. Furthermore, the area of creation of employment, which is key for the development of a nation, cannot be left out in this discussion, because sport itself is a sector in all nations. When these ministries and government agencies are created for the purpose of sport, employment becomes necessary, because people will have to fill the various positions and offices that comes with them. Aside from the fact that government in countries have made ministries and parasites that look into sport, by extension, create employment. Major sporting events also create employment. Global sport bodies such as FIFA, IOC, ITTF, and so all have opportunities, job opportunities, and it also affects the event themselves, because such events like the World Cup, Olympic, Commonwealth Games, among others, comes with opportunities for employment and for businesses. There are so many areas which we can still look at to see how sport can be used as a tool for unity and development. But I have to look at these ones I have touched now due to limited times so that we can give room for others. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I see that you came a little bit well prepared to deliver that little address. Thank you very much. I just want to very quickly, before I open the floor for Pastor Sonny to ask a few questions and then to take the question and answer session. I just want to ask, there's some things that I have picked up from your supporters club. This issue of unity, this issue of absence of racial discrimination or tribe discrimination, this issue of avoidance of religious, or this great, what I call religious tolerance. Isn't there a way by which you can approach our leaders and our politicians to guide them, to advise them, to tell them how these things have worked for you as a sporting club, and how it has promoted the successes that you've made, and so on and so forth, and get them to institute it as some kind of policy and principle in Nigeria? Is there a way that this can be done, or is this outside your remit?
Well, I think it's within our realm as a citizen of this country. I want to say the time of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who is one of our grand patrons. Because when we're going to the World Cup in Brazil, he is the first president that have come out openly to support us with funds to enable us subsidize the trip for our members. And during our visit to...
No. You are saying that Goodluck Jonathan is the first president.
The fourth president that has supported financially during any major competitions.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Most of the places you see us when we travel all over the world, we go out for sponsorship. We also use our time and money. We task most of the members. So when we get sponsors, we subsidize the trip for them. Maybe if you have spent 20 years and above, if the trip is 500,000, for example, they ask you, because you have spent 30 years, you pay 100,000. That is if we have sponsors. If you have spent maybe 10 years, we say, okay, you pay 300,000 for accommodation, flight, and others. If you are spent maybe 5 years, you said, okay, you are paying 400,000. Then if you are below, you are new, less than 5 years or so, we may tell you, okay, you have to pay the full cost of the trip. So that is how we run the club. So, like I was saying,
so
he is the first president that have
the rest of. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, go ahead, I thought you were saying something. So, like I said, he's the first president that have, and during the time when we visited, Aso Rock.
Don't let me interrupt you.
When we visit Aso Rock, I think we had the discussion with him. And he asked us to put up our like a report, to his office. I'm sure at that particular time we did that. And again, after one of the African Cup of Nations in Egypt, we were stranded. I think then President Olusegun Obasanjo sent plane to bring us back to Nigeria. And when we went on a thank you visit to Aso Rock, there's one thing he said that I cannot forget. He said why he loves Supporters Club is because of the national the how do I put it? The national unity that we embrace in supporters club. He then gave a story. He said when the Super Eagles were playing one particular match, I can't remember that now, that they have an Hausa man that is an allergy. You have other people that were there. And when they wanted to play, they wanted to, I think it was almost getting to the end of the match. I think there was a penalty, and the supporters club was singing, "It's a miracle, walking God, is an alpha." The allergy also joined in singing it. He was dancing. He was singing the song. He said he can't forget that day and several other things. That the supporters club, they are doing a good job for national unity, and they want to encourage us. So we have tried in so many ways to reach out to the government to make them also, embrace the supporters club and what we are doing. But I've said it earlier on the system. When we have a system that is working and you have the right people there, because it's the people that make the system work. When we have those people there, the right people there, I think maybe some of these things are things that can be resolved. If I have an opportunity to be the president of Nigeria today, I'm telling you that there is lots, and there are lots that we will do to ensure that the national unity becomes our pride.
Okay, will it work for every sport, basketball, football, golf, and all that? Or is it mainly a football thing?
It's not mainly a football thing. Like in the supporters club, I think there was a time we go beyond supporting football. We also support other sports. We support other sports. But you know that there are some sports that you can't be beating drum. You cannot be beating drum to go. But yes, but we do go there. We share the team. We have done it in boxing. We have done it in basketball, and several other games. I also could remember the Olympic hosted in Britain. What year? Some years back, like that. And we were also there. We supported all the athletes, encouraged them, to do well. So we are not just only for football.
All right, that's very good. Yeah, I just have one more. Maybe we are going to find a way to make you president of Nigeria, especially if you support other sports.
That would be the greatest miracle of our time.
I think we'll make you president. And maybe you'll find a way of finding talents in different sports like soccer, like basketball in particular, and like tennis and things like that. We used to have Lagos Lawn in those days and talent discovering.
I can't hear you, the network.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Your audio is fine. Your audio is fine, Mr. President. I think it's his.
It's his audio that's wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I can't hear you.
I was talking to you about talent.
Okay. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go on.
I was talking to you about talent discovery methods in sports, and maybe I can recommend to you. But I just have one more question for you, more suggestion. This reference to you becoming president, and you are laughing. With God, all things are possible. So don't underestimate yourself. But even without that, I'm going to be asking Jumoke to please work with you and maybe get from you the kinds of ideas and things you would have done if you had president to promote national unity, good governance, and development in Nigeria, using your experience as a sports leader. I'm going to now, there are a few hands up. Bola Oshiboju Adetula's hand is up. I'm going to hand over to Jumoke to see how she can help us with the question and answer.
All right.
Jumoke, let's try and see if we can have a hard stop for about 6:30, 6:40 later, so that we don't keep people on the platform for too long. Thank you.
We have one hand up. Ms. Adetula, please go ahead. Good evening, sir. Thank you for doing this. Ms. Adetula, please go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the lecture. Now, I know you are maybe regarded as an NGO. You are not part of the ministry. The Ministry of Sports and whatever should have a certain allocation they give you annually. I'm not sure whether you have already said it. If you have said it, please pardon me. I didn't hear. But my own question now is this. Do you have a way that you can assist the whole country in getting the Ministry of Sports perform, do the right thing, especially to our sportsmen and women, as per allowances given to them internationally, that they always corner? I know what I'm talking, and all of you know what I'm talking about. Is there any way you can intervene? Because some of those people keep quiet, and then, well, don't let me spill the bean too much, but do you have any way of getting them do the right thing in the Ministry of Sports and whatever they call it? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that question. You see, in the Nigeria Football Supporters Club today, we are the only club that have the structure that no other organization or supporters have all over the world. As I speak with you right now, we have a chapter in Brazil, because anytime we travel to any country to go and for tournament, we launch the Nigeria there as that are interested as members of Nigeria Football Supporters Club. We have in Japan. We have, I think, about 2 or 3 chapters in US, because US is very big. We have in the African countries, South Africa chapter. We have Ghana. We have Togo. We have Niger. We have Burkina Faso. Most of all these countries, we have all of them as chapters of Nigeria Football Supporters Club. Here in Nigeria, we also have, I think, 30 states that have been launched as a chapter of Nigerian Football Supporters Club. So we have a means of reaching out to all of these ones. But you see, I'll keep on saying it because I know what I am saying. The system. We tried this. We have made several efforts with former ministers. I remember the time we have this young man from Bayelsa, whether Dana Gogo or what is his name. I know the kind of efforts. I know the memos and we sent to them, to see how sports, we can make a positive input in sport in this country. When you go to them, you discuss with them, they'll tell you, oh, this is beautiful, we'll look into it. The next time you go back to them again, they are saying something else. They are not prepared. You see, the system of what we have in governance today, or people who put in position, they are there for myself and for myself alone. They are there for what they want to occupy, what they want to, claim or inherit for themselves. They are not there for the interest of this country. I'm sorry to say, because we have reached out to most of them. Even the outgoing minister, the one from Akwa Ibom, I know several times we reached out, to speak with him in some of these areas. But when you are saying something, they are saying another thing. But we are trying to do something. It's just the area of, we're also trying to look for sponsorship. We're trying to do something. We're trying to organize a football fan base that will not just only be for our national team here, but it's going to be a base, a fan base that will be a voice. That will be a voice, for other Nigerians in this country So once we are able to establish that, we are able to get that, then when we come out to say, no, we don't want this coach, for example, and every one of us come in there to say as a voice, to say this is what we want, then I think maybe the government will start listening. But for now, as I'm speaking to you, they are not, most of them there, they are not interested. You give them all the necessary information memos, they don't stick to it. They have come in there with their own set of mind. They are coming there with what they want to do. They only mingle with people that will tell them, oh, you are doing well. You are doing well. Like if you see today now, they have just created the National Sport Commission, the director of sport, and about 2 days ago, they are playing a football match. When you begin to celebrate them before their performance, it makes them lose track. Because it doesn't make them feel, see them doing, when they are doing anything wrong, it doesn't make them notice it, and it doesn't make anybody challenge them. When you put people into office, allow them to perform maybe for the period of 1 year. Look at their performance before you begin to throw accolade to them, before you begin to celebrate them. But in this country, it is not. You employ somebody today, you give them an appointment, the next thing you see, everybody. It's not that they all like them, but Kilamu will just take them into that place and will make them set their birthright and will make them be blindfolded whether the person is doing right or is not doing right. And when you want to come out as an individual to challenge that, then those set of people, they make you their enemy. They make you their enemy, and they see how they want to block you. Not only your business in sport, other areas they want to see how to block you. So for some of us that have that voice, when we notice at this thing, we just pray about it and just leave it until we have the right time and the right system that things will work.
Okay.
So that is it.
Thank you. Did we lose his audio or is it me? Okay. Sir, can you hear us? Thank you for that.
I think I could hear him clearly.
You can hear him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I could. I don't know. He's not talking now.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so very much, sir.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you, please.
So we are going to take, the way we usually take it, do this, we take a group of questions together. So we are going to take Professor Grange and Pastor Sonny, and would ask you to take all those questions together. Ms. Adetula, I see your hand. Since we're aiming to end at about 6:30, would take you last. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Professor Grange.
Yes. Thank you, Reverend Samuel Oyemade. I really did enjoy you. Can you hear me? Oyemade.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. We want to commend your effort for continuing with a lot of progress and development in sports without actually coming out as a hero, because you are a hero, but nobody seems to know what is happening. Now, what I would like to know is this: what happened to the past efforts that were made? I seem to remember that even Abiola was supporting soccer. The private sector was very, very strong in the support of sports, if you remember, and somehow they just fizzled out. There's so many people, so many rich people in our community today who are not even thinking of sports at all. Is there any way you can tap on them? Secondly, what is happening to sports in schools? I always feel that before you can identify those who will do well, they must have shown themselves to be very keen in sports and even everything, music. There are other areas that can create unity for us. But all these ones, we pick them out from schools. What is happening to our schools in this respect? Finally, there are indigenous sports. You mentioned one
Can I
of them.
respond?
You mentioned some of them. One of them in I think in the rivers or something like that, where they do wrestling. Yeah. What about
Yes,
sports
swimming.
in
Wrestling, yes.
other areas? For example, the Agungu village, fishing and all that. It's a form of sports. You know, why can't it be developed so that we are actually exporting our own indigenous sports to other countries? Thank you. Those are my questions.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to
Thank
ask
you.
that
Thank
please,
you.
just one second. Pastor Sonny also has questions. Do you want to, if you can take it together because of time?
I think I appreciate to take this one
Okay,
first,
please go ahead, sir.
so
Please
that
go ahead.
I don't miss it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll take it from the bottom, from the last one. When you talk about this indigenous sport, I think there is need for us to encourage and develop them. If you go to Europe today or outside the world, they are coming up every day. I think recently they launched one sport. I've forgotten the name of the sport. It's a local sport, and they are fighting now to be included in the Olympic. But we have a lot of other sports here that we can modernize, or we can encourage to be to bring them to limelight. But who are the people on top of the aim of affairs? Like I said, if you have somebody on seat or in that position that don't sport development or whatever, it is an issue. When you bring such idea to them, they just throw it there. And this Nigeria system, we are used to this fast food thing, quick thing. We're always interested in what will just bring money fast. We are not concerned about what we want to develop to eventually bring blessing of fun to us. So that is one of the major problems we are having. Also, the media need to also how do I put it, develop I don't know how to put the media too. After what these people in Europe are doing, they are using the media. We need to also use the media to come out to talk about this sport on a regular basis, make it known to everybody, so that people will have interest in them. Most of them are not known. The media is not talking about them, so they cannot. You cannot even get to the top, Abuja or so, where they can be recognized. Then you also talk about the issue of I'm one of an advocate of a grassroots sport, because I know during my school days, I know that every Wednesday, then, if I'm not mistaken, every Wednesday, then you don't do any other stuff. You come out for sport, various sports, and that was why they were able to discover most of all these our heroes that have won laurels for this country, or that have excelled in sports. But today, you open a private school, some of them doesn't have faith. When they don't have faith, how would they organize sports for the children? You go to some schools, yes, they have the faith, but they don't even create time for that. And if you look all over the world today, you go to China, you go to other things, from the tender age, they have started putting every of their children in various form of what do you call it, whether it's sport, whether it's artisan or whatever like that, or they are started training them. And I say train the child the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart. So training them in those areas doesn't stop them from their education. But in this place here, when the system allows anything, then there is a challenge. You also mentioned about the issue of, sponsorship. Yes, Abiola of blessed memory. It was one of the first patrons of Nigeria Football Supporters Club. He was also the first man that gave Nigeria Football Supporters Club a 50-seat seater bus. As at that time, it's one of the men again that also support the supporters club, to various tournaments single-handedly, who sponsor all of them until it passed away. Then you now come to Globacom, Mike Adenuga, the man for about 10 years, he was sponsoring the Nigeria Football Supporters Club. And at the time too, he was also sponsoring the Nigeria Football League and the NFF. But what happened? The system that does not work, the system that failed. With all his effort and all, with all he has put, the billions or millions or trillions he has put into football, he is not also being recognized. Is not also being given the opportunity to make an input when it comes to where he's putting his money. And the man decided to back out. So you now leave the indigenous company, Mark Adenuga, you are now dealing with MTN, which is a foreign country. No matter what, no matter how they sponsor you, they are not going to give you the best that an indigenous company will give to you. So many people have been frustrated because of the system from supporting, sport in this country. So all this we have to look into it. If something is not done in earnest, I'm really afraid what will happen with our little ones what will happen to their future when it comes in terms of sports. And you can see today what is happening to many people. We have so many talented players. They are not given opportunity to play here. And that is why some of them are going by road. They want to go to Libya, they want to go to Europe, they want to go there, to go there. And in Nigeria here, they will not be given the opportunity until they start hearing their name in Europe before they will be recognized and be invited. So all this, I think, is it doesn't make things work or a country develop when it comes in terms of sports. I don't know if I've been able to do justice to your question.
Thank you very much, sir. We're going to bring up Pastor Sonny, who is the first vice president of ALG. He's on the platform and he has a couple of questions for you. Pastor Sonny.
Couple of questions.
Thank you. Just some very quick questions. Good evening, Reverend.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, great. Number one, you were elected in 2016, right?
Yes.
And your tenure is for 4 + 4 years.
Exactly.
So your tenure should be over ideally by this 2024, the second 4 years.
The tenure is supposed to end by this December 2024. But
okay.
we had a national council executive meeting in the month of February, and in the month of, I think, whether July or March, and was a resolution made there that we are trying to qualify for the AFCON Cup, we are trying to qualify for the World Cup, and we also have our 70th anniversary to celebrate next year. So for all of this, they just want the current body to remain on seat until 2026. So
okay.
it's that decision. It was their decision because they said they don't want somebody that will just come in and want to begin to start over that will derail them from the present project that we have on ground.
All right. Okay, thank you. I'm just hoping that it will not become like Rafi Oladipo that was there for 30 years.
No. I will tell you, if we have a video, of that meeting. I really, kick against it, but the majority, have to carry their vote. By the first grace of God, when it's December 2026, I will be vacating the seat. How about that? How about that things to do?
All right. Okay, so I want to quickly ask you, you spent 8 years, and when you were elected in 2026, one of the things you said when you were elected was that you would focus not only on supporting the national football team, but you are going to get involved in supporting other sports and grassroots sports. You will partner with NFF to organize friendly matches, and you are going to create a supporters club museum where relics can be displayed. This is 8 years after, sir. Can you tell us how well you have succeeded in doing these things you promised?
Well, thank you very much for that question. It's good that you have been following the supporters club. I will tell you that some of these things we have not been able to achieve it. When I actually came on board, I have the plans for that, even to have a befitting secretariat for the club. But unfortunately, we have the then president of the Nigeria Football Federation, the president of Pinnick Amaju, who actually brought in or create a distraction in the structure of Nigeria Football Supporters Club. As soon as he assumed office, what he did was to call on the leadership of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club that he wants his own king's man to be in the aim of affair. And we told him that in Nigeria Football Supporters Club, we don't have appointment position. It is by election. He should go on election, and if he won, he will be there. If he lose, then he has to remain as a member. One thing I could recall that I will quote in verbatim that Pinnick said at our secretariat, he said, "Now I am the president of the Nigeria Football Federation. I will work with who I want to work with." So he created a division in the Nigeria Football Supporters Club. And that division has been on affecting a lot of things. Also in the what do you call it, in the NFF is also part of the problem that Globalcon decided to back out of football. And when Globalcon is no longer backing football, it's no longer supporting the Nigeria Football Supporters Club as our major sponsor. So this crisis created by this single man and his board is what we have been trying to, manage to keep the club as one, to make sure that we did not lose focus on what the club was established for. So for this and some other reasons, some of these things that was promised was not able to achieve. But I can tell you, part of my promise, I've been able to deliver over 60-70% in keeping the club in peace and unity.
All right, thank you very much. Jumoke, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think we are up on the hour. We'll be closing, but I'm going to ask one question that I have, and then you can add it to your closing remark. And you had mentioned, I heard you talk about a system that is not functioning and how that has impacted some of the things that the supporters club has been or wants to do. And now I hear that even within the club, because of again differences and because of maybe religion and tribe, there is also a problem. So can you speak on how, now that you know that that's happening, what are the strategies the football support, the club is taking to ensure this doesn't happen in the future?
Well, can you come back? Can you repeat that question, because it was breaking.
You talked about the fact that the system is not functional, and so I'm thinking we're talking about government. But here within the club that are Nigerian, the concept of the club is really irrespective of your tribe, religion, ethnicity, and your beliefs, we're one. And here is someone from within the club that took a different stance. So how are you mitigating such in the future?
Well, we have done everything humanly possible, to for such from happening. And like I said, when you're talking about the system that work, it is the people that makes the system work. That is having the right people. So for this, my years as a national chairman, I've been able to maintain, ensure that we do not have division amongst ourselves. I am from Edo State, by the special grace of God, as the national chairman. We have my vice chairman is a Yoruba man. The third vice chairman is an honorable in the House of Sokoto, the government of Sokoto. I think the deputy speaker in Sokoto State is my third vice chairman. And we have all this as part of the executive. And part of the reason again why the election for this month was extended is because we also put a constitution in place. They're trying to review the constitution, amend the constitution to ensure that some of the lapses that cause this crisis or whatever in time past, our eyes are open so that we'll be able to guide towards that areas. And once we are able to do same, even for now, let me tell you, for now, there is stability in the supporters club. There is stability in the supporters club, whether within or outside the country. Yes, people have right to form. It is Nigerian law. It allows various people to form any other thing. But when you come to the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, there's stability, there's unity, and peace is reigning. We don't have any issues. We have tried as much as possible. Like many people believe that I should have crisis with Dr. Rafi Oladipo. That what is he doing there? He has been there. Is it a live president or so? Well, that is not why Rafi Oladipo was not why I was elected. I was elected to lead the club, and I am leading the club. He is there as the president. A president general is doing his own. So I don't allow crisis, to come and disrupt, what we are trying to establish here in the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, like every other person the past people must have done. We will continue to try. I will continue to try my best. I will continue to try our best to ensure that the club remain one. The peace reign in the club, and that we must maintain the code and conduct. We must respect the code and conduct that guided the club. We must respect that. And if we're able to do some of these things, I'm sure that we won't experience such crisis again in future.
Thank you so much. We are up on the hour, but I understand that in Malawi had a question earlier on. So Pastor Luke, can you read out the question, please? POV, can you read out the question from Mr. Malawi or Miss Malawi?
Malawi will unmute and
okay.
ask
so I thought it was
question
written
by himself. Yes.
Okay. I don't see Malawi in the chat room. Okay.
Maybe he has left.
Okay, maybe he left. I didn't see his hand up earlier on. Thank you so very much. I'll take some announcements and then bring up Mr. President to close. Wanted to thank everyone again, and also that we meet here every Thursday at 5 p.m., the same Zoom link. And I put some link in the chat room for you to get more information about ALG and what we do here, and also to see which areas that you can participate in the organization. We're looking for all hands on board, and we'll be able to share more about our initiatives and our progress impact report as the year comes to an end. So we'll see you again next week, same time, same Zoom link, and have a good evening. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Ambassador Reverend Ibe.
Bye for you.
Thank you. Wabulu. Thank you for the impact. Hara. Thank you. Thank you for the impact that you have made and the hard work that you've done. And I'm particularly excited about the unity and the basis of unity that we're driving, especially in the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, and so on and so forth. And I pray that that unity will.
Apologies, I think we lost his audio. Okay, he's back. He's joining back again. Go ahead and unmute, sir. You're muted.
I pray that there will be no crisis, and I pray that there will be no problems, and I pray that there will be progress. And I also pray that somehow or the other, funding will continue to come forth. I'm hoping that working with yourselves, we can present to the government some kind of template that we can incorporate into our policy and our politics, especially if we can crystallize it into some kind of bill that will help harmonize and unite Nigeria and help also promote what you may call performance-based meritocracy. I know that as a nation we're sensitive about tribe and all that, but having a tribal-based football club will never produce the best set of footballers. We must just find a way of meritocracy in Nigeria that will ensure that we run the company properly. And I think the football sports produces an enviable and a copyable profile that will help us get the best out of Nigeria and have the sort of rules that will help us get the best out of Nigeria. If you're a good striker, you're a good striker. If you're a good defender, you're a good defender. If you're a good goalkeeper, you're a good goalkeeper. And if you're keeping for the whole of Nigeria, you're a good coach. You are keeping for the whole of Nigeria. It means that if you keep well, the South will benefit, the East will benefit, the North will benefit, the Middle Belt will benefit, Yorubas will benefit, Igbos will benefit. Everybody will benefit because as a coach, as a footballer, as a goalkeeper, as a minister of finance, as a minister of industry, as a minister of education, you have been a minister for the whole of Nigeria, ensuring that the whole of Nigeria is educated and is the skill and the knowledge and the information that you have used, not necessarily your tribe or your race. So we hope that we can bring that to bear in Nigeria and everybody will be happy. Thank you so much for what you have done. We look forward to further engagements and meetings. And I want to thank everyone that has been on the platform. I want to thank you for your questions. I want to thank those also who didn't ask questions. I pray that next time you'll ask a few questions and we'll have a very robust conversation. Let me wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. Let me also say that the Ghanaian Leadership Series is starting very soon, and we'll let you all know how we progress. Thank you all. Have a good evening, and God bless.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bless you too.
Thank you.
Jumoke, maybe you should invite somebody from the Ministry of Sports to come and address us.
Okay, ma. We'll look into that. Yes, ma.
I was going to tell the Reverend, let him go to the AU website. There's a document we developed. He can, on sports, management in Africa. Let him go to the AU website. That was what I was going to say.
If you have that document, maybe we can, if you have that document until we can get it to him as well.
I will have to look for it. It's a long time. I left the place in 2005. So